Hello and welcome to TV Ranking, a new series where I look at some of my favourite TV shows and rank them season-wise from best to worst. Starting with the TV show Red Dwarf. I will be including Back to Earth, but because it is not a season, I will not be including The Promised Land. Let's start with season 1, which was a great introduction to the show, and while it has weak moments, they definitely did great with the budget and restrictions given to them, and had great writing and interesting concepts. So far for that, I rank it at number 6. My favourite episodes are The End, Balance of Power, and Me Too. Next is Series 2, which really improved from Season 1, not only with the writing aspect, but the show seemed to have a bigger budget and the show gets to explore outside of the ship, really standing out for clever plot points and somewhat heartwarming scenes in certain episodes. For those reasons alone, I rank it at number 4. Favourite episodes are Better Than Life, Thanks for the Memory, and Stasis Leak. Series 3 is when the show, in my personal view, was at its best, with probably some of the most clever and hysterical episodes of not only the show but British comedy as a whole. We see new characters such as Crichton come into the mix and a new version of Holly come in as well, all doing an amazing job. Ranking wise is at number 1. My favourite episodes are Backwards, Polymorph, and Body Swap. Next we get Season 4, which was a good watch, but had a few dud episodes. It was not outright terrible, it felt that it was more mini moments than overall episodes. It still was a good series, and didn't hurt the show in any shape or form. Ranking wise is at number 3. My favourite episodes are DNA, Justice, and Meltdown. Season 5 is an odd one, as the writing is good in plot points, but the comedy in certain episodes aren't as good as the previous 2 seasons. But it's nice to see the show branching out and exploring new areas and taking the characters out of their comfort zones and giving them new situations. For those reasons alone, I rank it at number 5. My favourite episodes are Terraform, Quarantine, and Back to Reality. Next is Series 6, which in all honesty is an amazing series with a story arc throughout and adding to the monster of the week element in an extraordinary way. We also get intriguing plot lines thrown in as well through each episode, which really added to the show. And apart from one particular episode, it to me is perfection and dominates not only in British comedy but as science fiction shows as well, and the show has a great but dark ending to top it off. For those reasons alone, I rank it at number 2. My favourite episodes are Sirens, Legion, and Gunmen of the Apocalypse. Series 7 is a mixed bag in my eyes, as we have to say goodbye to great characters like Rimmer, but say hello to Kachansky from an alternate universe. But we welcome back an old but goody character, that being Holly, the original actor. The show started off well, with the first episode being a very clever and very funny starter, and the next 2 episodes that followed were also in the same vein. It's afterwards the show has moments of greatness, but had some dull moments as well. Certainly not the worst series, as if developed a tad better could be in the top 3. Overall I rank it at number 7. My favourite episodes are Tika to Ride, Stoke Me a Clipper, and Ouroboros. Next is Series 8, which not only has the return of Rimmer but a lot of the old cast, and we see characters in a Red Dwarf prison after an odd situation. This series is okay, but my main issue is 5 out of the 8 episodes are continuations, as in part 1, part 2, etc. and not singular episodes, which is a real shame in my opinion, but the humour is still there, yet the writing doesn't feel as clever as the previous series. For that ranking I have to rate it at number 9, but my favourite episodes are Cassandra, Crikey TV, and Only the Good. Next is Back to Earth, which technically is Series 9. It's an odd one in my eyes, as it was just a 3-parter, and while it is nice to see the cast return to these characters, it's just a shame the return was somewhat bittersweet. As while I enjoyed the plot, I feel like the comedy side wasn't hugely there for me. For those reasons alone, I'll rank it at number 12. My favourite parts are Part 3, Part 2, Part 1. Next is Series 10, which I was somewhat worried about, but after seeing the first episode, it just felt like old episodes and just showed Red Dwarf can still compete with other British comedies and even come out on top. Ranking wise is at number 8. Favourite episodes are Father and Sons, Entangled, and Dear Dave. Afterwards is Series 11, which doesn't have the greatest start, but afterwards have very cleverly written episodes and top-notch humour from each of the characters, and proving again that age doesn't ruin the humour. Ranking wise is at number 10. My favourite episodes are Samsara, Give and Take, and Can of Worms. Last but sadly least in a sense with Series 12, as whilst the writing I felt was top-notch, I felt comedy side of things wasn't as good as the previous seasons, and apart from maybe 2 episodes, I felt like it had very little replay value and seemed to rely on nostalgia from the previous series. And while it had cool cameos, it didn't save the show. It's sad to admit, honestly, I think this show has lost its greatness from the previous series before. That's why ranking wise is at number 11. Favourite episodes are Siliconia, M Corp, and Skipper. Although I do rank the last series pretty negatively, I still enjoy the show. I think Red Dwarf as a whole is a great British comedy show, and if or when it comes back, I can't wait to watch it. My next video will be on the Rick and Aid adventures, looking at both Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson and the shows they both starred in from 1982 to 1995.